Hey everyone, welcome to Buzzing About Romance. I am Becky, and joining me for this episode are Heather. Hi, Heather.
Hello, Becky.
And Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Becky.
Um, Thanks for joining me. You know, it's getting colder, the weather, not where Amanda is, but the rest of us, it's cold. Um, so our reading should be getting better, right, guys?
I hope.
I'm doing okay.
You doing okay?
Yeah.
So we are skipping term of the week again this week, and instead we are going to talk about book news happening in the book world, because there's just been a shit ton of crap happening in the book
Every
world.
day.
Uh-huh.
So one of the first things I want to talk about is Lindsay and I think it was a year or so ago, we did a quick shot of romance for a Pippa Green book. It was a hockey book in their Minnesota Raiders series. And recently it came to light that the author name Pippa Green is being sued by author Pippa Grant, because Pippa Grant is claiming that Pippa Green put their name too close to each other and stole their aesthetic for covers and all sorts of crazy stuff. And there's an actual lawsuit in Virginia, which we can't figure out why it's in Virginia, because the author duo Pippa Green lives in Australia and the Pippa Grant lives in Colorado. So we don't know why it's in Virginia.
Interesting.
But they're suing, Pippa Grant's suing because the name is too close. The covers look the same. And I'm interested to see where this case goes.
I just looked it up, and the author name just changed.
It did. About a year ago. So in the fall of 2022, they changed the name from Pippa Green to Eden Dunn.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were sent a cease and desist letter from Pippa Grant saying your name is too close to mine, and they changed it. But apparently it's alleged in this court document that they did a marketing seminar at a romance reader or romance authors conference and said, when you're branding, look at names that are popular and do things that are similar. That's what we did with Pippa Grant.
Oh.
But you guys, this happens in publishing all the time. Think about how many titles are similar, how many covers all look the same. You're constantly, as an author, told, go look at what's selling best and make sure your cover looks similar. And how many authors have similar names?
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's true.
I used the example Claire Kingsley and Kelsey Kingsley. Those names are almost the same.
Yeah.
And so there are ramifications that if this suit goes through, one of them could sue each other and say, hey, they're copying me. Their covers look similar. I mean, not those ugly truck covers that Claire Kingsley did, because those are fucking ugly. Kelsey Kingsley has better covers, but they are similar.
Okay. It might just be going too far.
Well, so let's talk about too far, because that leads into the next drama in the book world. An author last Christmas wrote a Why Choose Snowed-In holiday romance. And an author released a new Why Choose holiday romance with a red cover. Both books have red covers recently. And the first author made statements on this other author's social media saying, oh, this teaser was so spicy, it sounds just like my book. She, on a cover reveal graphic, said, oh, wow, where'd you get the idea for red? And the new book was called Wrapped in Them. The previous book was called, was it Tied Up in Tinsel?
Tangled
Tangled.
and Tinsel.
Tangled and Tinsel. And there are like 7 other books with the name Tangled and Tinsel that were written previous to this
Yeah,
book.
I mean, and how many Christmas books have red
That's
covers? I mean, seriously.
And how many books have
Christmas
and snowed in?
colors in general are red.
Exactly.
And snowed in. And why choose?
Yeah.
And this author has gone completely unhinged. She's had Instagram stories. She's commenting on other people's reviews of the book. The author was so scared she unpublished her book. She unpublished it because she was worried, because she had been constantly belittled and bullied by this author. And the Tangled in Tinsel author has a very fanatic fan base and has some very high influential friends. And the author with the current book, Wrapped in Them, was worried that it would tank her career. So she just pulled it and does not have any plans to republish it. And through this whole weekend that this author has been unhinged, there was at one point a 1-star review on Goodreads saying how this book was the same as this, that this Wrapped in Them was the same book as Tangled and Tinseled was a better book. I went and checked before we recorded this episode, and that review is now gone. That review was put up by an account that had only completed and read 9 other books and had been created the same day that the review was left. So, who put that review there?
Account. Yeah.
Weird.
Weird, right? Weird. But again, nobody owns a trope. Nobody owns a holiday. Nobody owns a subgenre.
Nobody owns a color.
Wow. If we can own a color, then I would like to own a couple colors. So,
Yeah, same.
Also names like Heather. I was born in the 70s, in case you can't tell. Oh, probably because I don't know how many Heathers there are in the world.
right.
So many.
Right. Like,
Same with mine.
it's just feels like it's gone too far. And when you show your whole ass, which is what these couple of authors are doing right now, they're showing their whole ass to the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody seems to want to clean this up. And I was talking to another author who's a friend of the podcast who we just adore. And because I made the comment that if this author that's been bullying, if her PR company doesn't step in and do something, drop her, put out a statement, something, it's going to start to affect the other authors that are repped by this PR company. As we saw it happen when the whole Willow Winters thing went down 18 months ago. And I was talking to this author and she said, well, you know, PR companies for romance books are not real PR companies, meaning they do not have any crisis management training. They do not know how to issue statements and apologies. And what I'm saying is if you own a PR company, you might want to find someone with that service and get them on staff, or at the very minimum, get them to do some seminars and trainings for your author and your employees, because just ignoring the bullying, not a good look.
That it should be some PD. I mean, some PD needs to be happening. Professional development, if people aren't aware of what that means.
I'm just glad you didn't say DP, because when you first said it, I thought you said DP, and I'm like,
No.
well, this just took a turn.
Professional development.
That
means educate yourself.
It's just bonkers.
The thing is this author is going on people's.
Well, she's commenting on TikToks. She's commenting on Instagram posts and trying to defend herself. Like, how do you defend that you're a bully?
Don't.
I have no words.
So the last piece I want to talk about before we get into what this episode's about is a New York Times, USA Today best-selling traditional and only traditional published author decided to not only show her whole ass, but She did it like multiple times.
She really did.
So we are talking about Jodi Pico. Pico.
Whatever.
Pickled, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's like the salsa, pico salsa.
Oh, pico.
Yeah. So I think it's pronounced pico. She went on to TikTok to talk about how basically indie author is a lot of work and it's not really successful. And that if you want to be a real author and be successful, your best course of action is to only be a trad pub author. And she went on to talk about the amount of work that's required of indie authors and basically said, you guys, you suck. And if you have to do all that work, then your books aren't very good or well written. And the video's out there. She has since taken the video down, and as of recording of this, she's issued an apology. But oh my God, you guys, it was not the apology she needed to issue.
Yeah, the air quote apology. I see Heather doing the air quotes.
Yeah, it was what Carolina called a PR apology. She probably does have a crisis management team at this point.
Or because she's trad pubbed, has
a crisis management team from the publisher. It was basically she should have known that her words would be misinterpreted and that she was misunderstood. What she was trying to say was that trad pub can be a long road, but in the end, the rewards are that much better because lots of things are taken off of your plate. Now, trad pub is
like to call a backhanded compliment.
Right. And trad pub is not perfect. They whitewash books. There's no diversity in publication. Voices are being muted. And it is old white men and white women making the calls as to what books are being published in trad pub.
If you handed me a trad pub book or an indie published book, 9 times out of 10, I would choose an indie published.
Same. And I'm not saying indie publishing is perfect.
No.
Lindsay and I just got off of some quick shots that are a little unhinged that were indie published books that had some problems. All of that being said, while it wasn't perfect, there is a level of respect you give to those authors for doing it and doing the hustles. And how many times do we hear? So like author Nisha Sharma is mostly trad pub. She's a hybrid, right? She's her trad pub books, she hustles just as hard for those as she does for her indie published stuff because the company doesn't give her any marketing money. The marketing is very limited.
And
I think I was listening to. Yeah, and I think I was listening to an episode that you guys did earlier, maybe like early in the podcast, and you were talking to an author who said, that they were traditionally published and they had to work even harder to do their own marketing when they were traditionally published. Well,
we look at like Sawyer Bennett. She was with Love Swept. She was part of Penguin Random House. And she's had a Montlake contract. She is now doing everything she can to buy back her books. Because she has no control over that backlist that was traditionally published. And like she knows that there is money in paperbacks right now, right? How many of us would sacrifice our husbands for copies of The Cold Fury?
Have him immediately.
Yeah. Like, I would sell Mike for Chicago Aces books from Kelly Jameson. Like, to have those paperbacks? Yes. I mean, I'll keep Ollie and the other 2 dogs, but they could have Perry. I mean, but those authors are desperately trying to get their books back because they have no control over the backlist anymore. And you look at someone like Rena Morgan, who her paperbacks are no longer available.
Talk about selling some people for that.
Right. You can only get her books in e-copies now because it was limited run paperbacks. And as we're seeing, paperbacks are making a comeback. The current reader, they seem to be preferring, not us, we must be the exception. The current readers prefer paperbacks. We want ebooks because it's easier and faster.
Yeah, I only buy the ebooks to put on my shelf.
Yeah. Yeah. The paperbacks only come out so that I have
Or,
beautiful
yeah,
shelf
I said it
space.
backwards.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because Mike Burrier likes to build shelves. That's why I buy paperbacks. It's his favorite thing to do.
That's what we tell ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that is our unhinged news, book news, new news, whatever you want to call it, for this episode. And actually, I'm going to start doing in Patreon. It will not roll out till December, but we will start doing news segments over on Patreon of book deals that are getting signed, happenings in the book world. So I'm gearing up for that, and we'll kind of start answering questions about book world happenings over on the Patreon starting in December. Okay, so there's that. But let's talk about what we're talking about this episode.
Mm-hmm. Let's.
So on this episode of Buzzing About Romance, we are going to talk about anticipated reads. What books we're looking forward to in November, December of 2023, and what's coming in 2024. But also, how do we keep track of them? How do we find them? And we are also going to talk about books and authors that might be flying under the radar that we just think we need to talk about. We might have talked about them previously. We might do quick shots for them. But these are authors that we are constantly going to talk about until you read them. So,
Yes.
It's basically the Rena Morgan episode. If you aren't reading that, fucking read it. You can also check out our previous episode 148, for romance books that we think need more hype. That will even give you more books we think you should be reading. Okay, friends, I got questions. Are you ready? Oh,
I'm going first because I'm going to steal one from Amanda.
okay, wait.
Now.
Wait, we're not talking about the new releases just yet. Wow.
Okay, well, I'm making it known.
I know which one she's going to steal.
There's like fisticuffs happening and everything. I don't even know.
She's coming after me.
Like, wow. Okay. First off, how do you find your anticipated reads? So, do you keep a list? Do you pre-order author newsletters? Like, honestly, each month, usually around the 25th of the month, on the website on bookcaseandcoffee.com, I publish a list of books that are coming out in the following month that we're anticipating. So like right now, November's list is up there. All the covers are linked, so you can go over to Amazon and find the books and when they're coming out. But I have to do digging to find this list because I don't keep a ongoing list of when authors are putting pre-orders out and stuff because I suck. But so Heather, how do you find your anticipated reads?
The author newsletters, if I follow them on social media, I'm in their group maybe on Facebook, or I follow them on Instagram. I look at like PR like emails too.
Oh, well, like, yeah, the PR, like the listings on their website of upcoming tours, PR tours.
And obviously I can't read all the arcs like some people try to. Rachel.
She's not even here to defend herself.
She's not. That's why I just threw her under the bus. I mean, I'm good at that. And then if I know that I can't read them, I mark it in my Google Keep.
Can we talk about your countdown?
Oh, I do countdowns also. I have an app on my phone where I keep track of books and the days till their release.
I don't know anyone else that does this.
And then I may or may not remind authors sometimes in their Facebook groups or whatever, like, we have 100 days to wait. Hurry up.
Oh
They
my
hate me.
gosh.
Mostly Sawyer Bennett is like, seriously, Heather?
How does she get a restraining order against Heather? Does she file that in North Carolina or is that filed in Minnesota? I just need
I don't know.
You can file it in Florida.
She needs to do it in Calgary because I'm gonna see her there. And
Oh, goodness. Okay, Amanda, let's hope yours is not as unhinged as Heather's. Amanda, how do you keep track and find your anticipated reads?
I mean, I don't really have anything to add after that. I mean, it's mostly the social media accounts. I'm fairly unhinged about checking social media accounts and Facebook groups and stuff. And then yeah, I mean, I'm pretty all up in there all the time. So I don't really have any other way that I track other than that. I do actually get some from Goodreads occasionally because I'll forget something. And then BookBub will, usually on release day, BookBub will release for any authors that I'm following in case I somehow missed it. But any author that I'm following, they'll email the day of release.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and if you follow authors on Amazon too, Amazon will send you this author has an upcoming release or check out the latest release from this author. Just depends on however Amazon algorithm works. And that is helpful.
Yeah.
Because I have backed away from a lot of PR work just because of day job, consulting work, and the podcast. I just don't have a lot. And recently, Lindsay and I just talked about, and I know Amanda's struggling with this a little bit too. New releases aren't hitting right now for us.
Yeah,
they're few and far
really
between.
Not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Amanda's been in a backlist deep dive for 6 months now?
Oh my God, yeah, forever. I feel like all year actually. I went back and looked, and I started with Natasha Madison, I think March, and that was pretty much the start of it. And I've had a few, new releases by some of my, like my go-to authors and stuff. But other than that, it's every month it's been a backlist book that's been one of my favorites, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, we all know that I'm in this slump with struggling, and I really hope that after HEA, things will kind of lessen for me. Leah's starting to do quick shots again, which kind of takes some of the pressure off for reviews for the podcast. But new releases are just not hitting, and I don't like some of the things that are happening with new releases from new to me authors, because I'm still reading my go-to authors. And that brings me to the next question. And I'm saying this, and Mike Burrier is in the room, you guys. So do you keep track of your pre-orders? Because I don't typically pre-order anything that's going to be in Kindle Unlimited.
I don't either.
I just will screenshot it if I go to do a pre-order on something, and I'll screenshot it and it's in my phone as a screenshot. But there are authors that I read, Sawyer Bennett, Carrie Ann Ryan, that their ebooks, Kelly Jamieson, their ebooks are wide. So they're not in Kindle Unlimited. And I pre-order them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't keep track of them.
No, it's like a little gift to yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't either.
The other day, though,
I don't keep track.
I opened my thing the other day, my Kindle. There might have been 5 pre-orders.
Oh, that hasn't happened to me in a long time.
I did.
Yeah, I don't think I've had that many in a while.
Well, I did. So it was a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, who?
It was on a day that like Melissa Foster had a release, Carrie Ann Ryan had a release. Like it was all of my wide authors, like all in one swoop.
Carrie Ann has a new one coming like this week.
Have you read it yet?
I think.
Have you read it yet?
No.
It's a throuple.
I know.
And
my jam.
Roommate throuple. It's so good. It's in the Montgomery Inc. Legacy series. And we all know I'm a fool for Carrie Ann Ryan. And the Patreon exclusive cover for this, hot. And you know what? She's giving us 2 thruples in a row.
I know.
Because the Wilder Brother book that comes out in December.
That's on my list.
I'm so
Stop
sorry.
it. Well, now you might as well talk about it because you spilled the tea already.
I'm so,
Good gravy.
so sorry. Oh
I
my
think
God.
I'm actually gonna read that one. And I'm not big on thruples, but I'm reading that one.
Yeah, but
Find
she has
the
set this
road.
throuple up. Because have you been reading the Wilder Brothers, Amanda?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. I'm not completely caught up, but I think I'm one book behind.
I'm obsessed with this series. And she has built this throupling, this relationship since book one. Well,
Yeah.
I guess more like book three when we meet the bodyguard. And I also the Wilder brother, whichever E it is for this book, he pines.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's pining for everybody. And I just want to be like, I want someone to have that kind of dedication for me.
No kidding.
Like, anyway, um, okay. So before we get to our anticipated reads, tell me who are your one-click authors, no matter if they're in KU or not. Because do you buy KU books sometimes?
I do if it's Riley Edwards
Okay.
because I need that on my Kindle at 12 at midnight because I'm gonna start reading it then. So I'm not waiting until 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not. So yeah, if it's Riley Edwards, even if it's KU, it's pre-ordered.
Yes. If I think I'm going to read it more than one time, I will buy it.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There are some that I pre-order on KU or one-click buy on KU, but that tends to be the authors that I just love and want to support. So,
Okay.
Krista Sandor, I'm going to buy her books. I'm going to buy the Helena Hunting books that are in. Now, those I might pre-order the paperback because I do like, Helena's books for my bookie shelves.
I also have been doing where if it's Whisper Sync, I will buy the audio.
Oh yeah. I missed that with Brittany Sahin's last one and I was like mad at myself.
It's so hard sometimes to be a book person, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You kick yourself almost daily and you're like, I get it. I get it. I feel all this pain. Okay, so let's talk about some of our anticipated reads. I will say, if I am looking for an anticipated release, a lot of times I just put into Google November 2023 anticipated romance books. It usually gives me a Goodreads shelf,
Yeah.
but it will also give me other book bloggers. I also have used fantasticfiction.com, and you can hit their coming soon and you can go out 30 days and it will list books that are coming soon over there. And I do like that feature. Amazon, you used to be able to search, but their search is broken and they're stupid and you can't do it anymore. But you can also always come to Bookcase and Coffee or buzzingabout.romance.com and see our list around the 25th of the month. We release the next month's list of books. But typically those are going to be books that we're anticipating because I put it out to like Amanda, to Leah, and they're the books that are on our radar. So we might be missing your favorite authors.
I've been trying to pull some from the Goodreads list too when you ask me, so I'm getting some on there that we didn't necessarily have.
Yeah, I've decided though I'm a snob and I don't care. I am a book snob, you guys. Sometimes some of these anticipated releases are just bullshit.
That's fair.
Yeah, I like what I like.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. And I'm done apologizing for liking what I like.
right.
Yeah, and I think more what I was pulling was stuff that maybe the community was that I know the people in our community read that I may just not read.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You are the nice person in this conversation right now, just so we're all clear. It is
My
not
husband
Heather
would
and I.
probably disagree.
We are like the passive aggressive patsies over here.
Minnesota, sort of nice.
Sort of nice. Okay. So let's just start talking about like what's coming November, December that you can't wait to read. Go ahead, Heather, before you lose your shit.
I know. But I think this is okay. It is Playing with Fire by Anna Blakely. It is her book 2 in her Eagle's Nest series. Right, Amanda?
Yeah.
It says the release is 11/28. Anna Blakely does something that I adore in an author. She will start writing a book, and if she does not feel that it is her best and what she wants readers to have, she pulls and changes her release. And
She does.
I give her so much credit for doing that. I know that is a very hard decision, but she does it because she wants her readers to have the best experience. So I will always read her because I appreciate that she does that.
I think that's fair. I think that shows an author that's paying attention to detail. You know, I'm trying to think. Well, we had this experience with Helena Hunting and BJ's book. Everybody wanted to be lovey, and she wrote it that it was lovey, but it didn't work. So she scrapped Shattered Truth and started over. And that book's phenomenal.
So good.
And so I respect and appreciate that she put time into that, even if it did delay. And this is something I will always say. Authors do not owe you a book.
Nope.
No, not at all.
If an author isn't writing a book in a series that you want them to write, tough shit. They have to write what their heart is telling them right, because, man, we read books that are pushed out because they're playing to their fan base or they're playing to trend, and the books suck ass. And as a reader, I can tell.
I agree.
Okay, Amanda, there are so many tangents tonight. People are not going to follow this episode at all.
No.
They're going to be like, wow, were they drinking? We were not. Sober.
I am not drinking. Yeah.
I'm sober.
Amanda, what book are you anticipating from November, December-ish?
Oh, I have so many. I'll leave Heather's alone.
Tell them.
So Melissa Foster's His Wicked Ways, which is the next in the Wicked trilogy, comes out November 8th. I'm very excited about that. That's Blaine's book.
I have not. So I'm just reading is it the first one then in this series?
Yeah, a little bit wicked.
Yes, I'm just reading that for our group read because we're in the middle of Clear the TBR, and this book's been on my TBR. I've owned it for free since 2022.
Yeah, I really like that one. It's Justin and Chloe, so I love that one.
Yeah.
He pines hard.
I like a piner.
He's good. And then let's see. And then Susan Stoker's next one in her Refuge series is coming out November 14th. That's Deserving Cora. I'm excited about that one. That's a really great series. The Refuge is, former military guys, and they started kind of like a animal refuge for people with PTSD and other kind of trauma. And then what else? Anna Hackett has her book, The Hero She Needs, which is Boone. And she's been teasing that one since like the Norcross series, and it comes out December 7th. So.
Oh my gosh. I cannot wait for that book.
I know. I'm so excited for that one.
And she teased us with Boone in Keep.
Yep. Oh, I know. I'm so ready for that book.
Me too.
What else do we have? Oh, Marie Johnston's next in her Oil Kings is coming out November 16th, A Temporary Memory.
You're just taking all of them.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I don't see your list. Okay, let me skip around. I'll go to some I know you don't have.
I didn't I do my own thing. Hello.
You can steal her whole list. Relax.
You can, because there's a couple on here that I know you don't have.
You're fine.
I'm sure I have some. And then I think my next one,
no one owns a list. No one owns an anticipated release.
You are correct.
Oh, and then my next one is Lulu Moore has The Shake Off, which is the second book in her New York Lions baseball series that comes out December 20th. I'm very excited for that one. And then
okay, so I have to ask a question. I know you're a Lulu fan, but I have to ask a question. And this
Okay.
is really a Lindsay question.
Okay.
Does she get baseball right? Because I'm going to say something. I tried to read one of her hockey books. She did not get hockey right. Her hockey was, at least in the first one that I read, her hockey was very interpretive.
Yeah, and I know she has added beta readers for the hockey for her last hockey book she added. I know she had a hockey person for beta reading. I know
Yeah.
she has baseball people for the first baseball book and the second one. One of them is actually someone who covered baseball as a
Okay.
sports writer.
Okay.
So
good.
I don't know because I don't watch
You don't
that
watch
much
baseball.
baseball. I mean, I will watch the World Series, but I couldn't tell you if it's right or not.
Yeah.
But I do know that she has like someone who wrote
Okay.
for like a sports outlet for baseball that's
You know,
covering her books.
I know that she is British, and that can
Yep.
create, some disconnect a little bit. And so I will give some grace, but I just was curious to ask because that is something that comes up kind of frequently, particularly, well, we just got off our hockey episode last week. It's something that comes up, sports done correctly. Because there's another
No.
British author that
Yeah.
wrote hockey and placed it in the US and so many wrong things. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, I'm the person you ask if they got the football right,
Okay.
but not any of the other sports.
Not
I
any of the
know
sports.
just enough about hockey to make me dangerous. But I don't really, but baseball, not so much.
Go sports. It's fine.
Yeah, but yeah. So, but
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I know she has someone that's beta reading that knows a lot about sports, but
Okay.
or baseball.
I asked the questions, Lindsay. I asked the questions.
Nope.
Okay. I have mine for the winter by Carrie Elks. It comes out November 30th. It is the last book in the Winterville series. And I am telling you all right now, you're gonna fucking read this series this Christmas. Or no, you are on the naughty list, and not even the good naughty list, like with Cole that's
Oh.
kind of nice. You're going to get the dusty, dirty Cole fucking everywhere.
My, that's some fighting words.
I am. Well,
Oh,
people are admitting they haven't read this series.
I have not.
And
I
I'm
haven't
very
either.
mad at both of you right now. And
Just
Rachel.
like I have not read Melissa Foster. I know you're probably going to be kicked out of the club.
Rachel, or Heather, I think we have to fire you. Like, you're just done now.
That's fine.
When Heather goes on sabbatical, you all will know why. She didn't read what we told her. My Neighbor's Secret by Lauren Rowe is coming out December 1st. This is the third book in her. So far, the first two books in this series, they've been rom-coms, age gap where she is older.
Mm.
So I'm curious to see what this third book is going to be. And then I have Finding the Road to Us by Carrie Ann Ryan. It is a throuple, and this is the final book in the first grouping of the Wilder brothers.
I know. I mean, at least we get more Wilders. Like there's cousins.
We do, and there's the Wilder Wedding that is coming. It's a novella. But also, I'm ready to move on from the East so I can keep track of people better.
I mean, there's that. There is that. She did tell us she's never doing that again.
She did.
So.
She said she's never doing it again. Any other November, December releases that are on
Yeah.
here? Okay,
I have a bunch.
give them to us.
I
Well,
wasn't done either.
Oh, well,
obviously,
go back and forth. Give one, Heather, then Amanda can give one.
Bane, Sawyer Bennett.
Oh, that's my
Obviously.
book of the week.
Okay, well, sorry, but that's coming. I mean, like it's going wide, like I don't know,
Friday.
November.
Is
it Friday?
She's releasing it early this coming Friday. And we're going to talk about that in Book of the Week because how far are you into this? Into Bane?
I'll look. It's okay. And then I'm just gonna
We'll
go
talk
one
about
more.
it in a minute. Keep going.
No, go ahead.
So Kelly Fox is an writer. She has a new series coming, the Lost Boys series in Sagan, Texas, and it is The Thief by Kelly Fox, and he's a preacher.
Okay.
Oh.
Amanda, what do you have for November, December?
Well, I have Iron Flame because I am all on that Fourth Wing bandwagon. I'm ready.
You go.
So, and then I think I
Did you order the
had
special edition Fourth Wing that comes out next week?
no because I no, I actually I ordered a regular copy and had the edges sprayed.
Okay.
So by Simply Painted Pages, and they're clouds and lightning and dragons, and it's fantastic. I'm
Amazing.
I'm all about it. And then also Janice Whitaker has Cowboy of Convenience coming out December 1st. That's in her Cowboys of Moss Creek. So that one's coming out. And I think
Aurora Rose
that's,
Reynolds has
oh yeah.
Until Hannah. I have read this because I'm on her team. Guys, you want to talk
Yeah.
about swoony, over the top, growly protector dudes? You ain't seen nothing yet with Walker.
Nice.
Like
I have to get
growly.
caught up on that series.
You
I'm
can.
not.
That series is a really great one. You can read out of order.
Okay.
You
I
can.
read the one. I think I read the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can read that series absolutely out of order. What else you got?
I
Oh,
have
go ahead.
Broken Dreams. It is a Whitlock family book by Corinne Michaels. It is book 2, small town, single dad. He's a widow, and the cover is smoking hot.
Okay, but the first book in that series was really disappointing.
I liked it.
I just thought it was really
Oh, let
disappointing.
me see. Oh yeah. I
That's a
like that
nice
cover model.
cover.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish the book was a little more. Okay, what else do you got?
The only other one I had for November, December was Sienna Snow Own, which is the third book in that Violent Nights trilogy, and I've been waiting on that one to start the trilogy. It's
Okay.
in the Midnight Dynasty. It's one of the Morelli
Oh,
sisters.
yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, so that comes out in December. Okay.
December 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have been waiting to start that one too. Maybe you and I can do a group of quick shots on that one.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
We'll do it book by book. I'm all for
I,
that. What do you got?
I thought Helena Hunting was putting one out in like that 10,000 Nights, and it's
She,
Violet's mom.
she is. It comes out in December.
That's what I thought. So exciting.
Yes, it is Violet's mom and stepdad. They're coming together. Lots of 80s fluff and fun in that
Oh,
one.
nice.
I'm excited for that.
Malia Finelli, has anybody read her Mafia series?
Mhm.
Her Mafia Virgin comes out in December. And then I see. Do you want to do this one for Amy Award, Amanda?
Oh, I will, just because I the first book was fluffy fun, so I'm excited because it's called The Wiener Across the Way. Like I mean, come on. So much
Right?
fun. So that comes out December 28th.
Um, I think Veronica Eden has
Mhm.
the second book coming out in her um in her Heston U, but I can't find it. But I think it's coming out.
She has
Uh,
a novella, I think, Matching All the Way, coming out in December.
okay. I really like her books. I
I
really
do
liked her
too.
first book. I think it's better than um what's her ass? Elle Kennedy. No. Yeah, Elle
Yeah.
Kennedy. I think it was better than that.
AJ Truman has one coming out in November, December. He hasn't dropped the title, but this girl's gonna be stocking that release,
Restraining order.
I love
Okay.
them.
So what releases are you looking for in 2024? I will start this because I actually ordered the special edition with the throwback cover on it. At First Spite by Olivia Dade. It's the Harlot's Bay 1. It's the first book. It's a new series that she's writing. And she's doing another one of those cover wraps.
Oh yeah, I ordered it too.
Glad I'm not alone. So that's coming out in February of 2024. I'm super excited for that. Anyway, jump in. Who's got books they can't wait for in 2024?
I don't know if I
Brit
have any.
I have a bunch. I have a lot. I made a whole spreadsheet over here. Yeah, I have Brittany Sahin's The Fallen one, which is in her Falcon Falls series. It's Carter who's the he runs the team with Gray, and his book comes out March 14th. And when I tell you that literally every reader that she has is like clamoring for this book, like it is like this, his story has been teased for like years. So that's probably my most anticipated read for next year. And then Melissa Foster has three that I know of. She has Falling for Mr. Bad on February 21st, and that's Kane Bad and Sable from the Montgomery series. And then she has the next A Taste of Whiskey, April 10th, and that's the Redemption Ranch next one, I think, coming out.
Which
Becky.
I am desperate for because there's a hard rule on Redemption Ranch that coworkers cannot date. And that book, they're fucking coworkers, and he's a single dad. Anyway, I'm obsessed with that series.
Yeah, I'm ready for that one. And then the next one in her Braden Montgomery Enticing Her Love is July 10th. I think that might be the last one coming out in that one. I'm not sure. That one is, the series is really long. And then Susan Stoker has two new ones coming out. Her Eagle Point Search and Rescue, Searching for Heather is the name of that one. It's January 2nd. And then Deserving Lara on February 6th. That's another one in the Refuge. So those are all the big top ones for me, I think.
Natasha Madison she has one more Southern Wedding coming in January, and then she goes back to Made for You in March.
She
March
has
1st. Yeah.
She has a new series listed, meant for series. Book 1 is Meant for Stone, coming March 1st.
Okay, so it's the next 4. Like, we were teased Stone's book. It's his heroine is Riley, Romeo's sister. And she's fucking sassy, so I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at my 2024.
Well, I have some, like Stay Present, Stay Anyway by Kaylee Ryan. Those are coming out early 2024. Those are the final 2 brothers and her Kincaid brothers. Strictly Not For You. It's book 4 in the Salinger Brothers series by Carrie Elks. So if you haven't read the Salinger Brothers, this is great. It's 4 brothers. The first 4 books are the 4 brothers. Then they have 2 half brothers. And they're just really well written. Book 3, he's the coach of a minor ECHL hockey team, and she's the granddaughter of the owner. But in this next book, he's a doctor and a surgeon, and they all kind of have enemies to lovers vibe. I love Carrie Elks, so whatever, right? Carrie and Ryan kicks off a new series with her Good Time Boyfriend coming in January of 2024.
That one looks so good.
Doesn't it?
So good.
And those covers.
I love those.
Can we just say anything Carrie Ann Ryan puts out? We're devouring.
We are. We can. And also, I'm dying on her Patreon covers, her Patreon exclusive covers for these books.
I know.
They're so freaking spicy. I love them. I love them all so much. Zoe Blake in February and March goes back to the Cavalieri Billionaire series. She has Seduction of the Patriarch, and then I guess April, Scorn of the Betrothed. And then she's got book 7 in her Ruthless Obsession series, which is Sweet Severity. Now, if you like Primal Kink, and I know Amanda just came off Pray Tell, what
is this book called again?
It is the Ruthless Obsession series. You need to read Zoe Blake if you haven't read Zoe Blake. The only problem is some of them have virgin heroines, but they're not too stupid to live virgin heroines. It's just that they're daughters of mafia, and so they're like protected, but they're
I'm
not
fine with that.
princesses.
I'm fine with that in a dark romance. I'm just getting annoyed with it in straight contemporary right now.
Yeah.
I feel like I read a ton of them and I'm just like, really? Like, can we just get somebody that's, over 21 and not a virgin?
Having the
Please?
sex. Read Zoe Blake. They are dark, they are steamy, and she leans into the primal kink. Often there is not a lot of consent in her books. So if you're looking for consent, you probably should skip those.
Okay.
But I do like those. April, we've got that one, Touched by Carrie Elks. It's the second book in her next gen of Hearts and Creek. And that one regret was spicy as all get out. I really liked. And then in January, this is like the book that even though it's in KU, I had pre-ordered it. The Ward Willing by Amanda Richardson. It's part of her
God.
Ravage Castle series. Did you finally read this series?
Yeah. Yes. I read Pray Tell and
Mary Lies.
Mary Lies yesterday, and I finished it today. So just wait for book of the week.
I read that book. I read Pray Tell, and I found it by accident. I was looking for Primal Kink, and I read it and I've never heard of Amanda Richardson, and I read it, and I'm like, where has this author been? Like,
No, I know.
the spice and the heroine. Oh my God. Anyway, okay. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, that is my number one anticipated release for January right now.
Same. Sawyer Bennett, we're gonna get Boone's book, and I heard that's gonna break our hearts. And then Callum is coming on March 12th, and he is the GM. And I've been in love with him. I've been in love with him. Silver Fox.
Mm-hmm.
And I licked him first. Claimed.
I'm telling you,
Claimed.
Bane is mine.
Bane?
He's 6'5". He's 6'5".
That's fine, because I think I called Boone back when I found her, and I was like, you guys have to give me one, and somebody was like, oh, you can have Boone. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah,
So
and then she's been teasing
yeah.
that story in her Instagram and in her Facebook group. And I'm like, what are you doing to us, sister? But she has a new series that she's coming out with.
I'm very excited.
I have the countdown for that.
This is the Feud, the Bluegrass Empire series. And Heather has a countdown.
I think I do.
April 30th. So however many days till then.
Well, I mean, I have so many.
She can't keep track.
Can't even find it.
I can't. I have so many.
Kennedy Ryan, the follow-up to her book that she had. What was that?
Is it Let Me Let Go?
Yeah. Yes.
Let Me Let Go.
Let Me Let Go. The follow-up, This Could Be Us. I'm very excited for that. There's a couple others, but that's the main of what I can't wait for.
Oh, I have to add one for Merit.
Sure.
It's for me too, but Suzanne Wright, the next book in her Olympus series, which is The Shifters.
Oh,
When
yeah.
He Dares, comes out March 8th.
Okay.
So that was my only other one.
So yeah, that's what we've got. You can find this list on our On the Shelf show notes. But now I feel like we have to talk about Book of the Week, because I need to know where Heather's at in my Book of the Week, because there is a line in the book and I'm mad.
I'm at 22. I'm at 22%.
Well, then you're not far enough to have this line, and I can't spoil it for you.
Okay.
Now I'm mad. Now I'm even more mad than I was when I started.
I tell you what, I'll mute myself. You say the thing and then give me a thumbs up when I can listen.
Okay, here we go. So it's that time, everyone, for Book of the Week. It's Book of the Week time. Okay, Heather, what is your Book of the Week?
Oh, I think she's muted.
Oh, okay. I'll do my Book of the Week first. My Book of the Week is Bane by Sawyer Bennett. It is book 7 in her Pittsburgh Titan series. Are you gonna read this, Amanda?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
I'm
don't want to
behind.
spoil this for
So-
anyone, but there is a throwaway line by Brienne when she's helping Kira through something. She's on a phone call with Callum and says, "Did you get him to sign?" And she then returns and says, "Great. Do you think that Gray, the GM of the Cold Fury, is going to say anything or make a statement?" And that's all we fucking get. There is no other hints, just this throwaway fucking line. And I'm like, what? What? Now, I've been keeping a secret and I'm still not allowed to tell my secret. But hopefully by next week, I can tell my secret. Because I'm really mad. I had hoped that they would give away a little more in that one line. So pay attention to that line, people. I know that
I'm going to be on vacation, so you're going to have to text me and let me know when you can tell me.
I have been keeping a secret for 6 months. Anyway, okay. Heather's back, so I didn't ruin the book for her.
So animated, I was dying.
Well, because
God.
I'm keeping, it's the secret. The Bane book, I'm keeping a secret, and I've been keeping it for 6 months, and we all know I cannot keep secrets.
No, you can't. But Lisa was teasing me through email and messages. And I'm like, don't ruin it for me.
I'm so mad. But they don't give it. They do not give you the secret in the book, just so you know.
So she still can't tell us.
So I can't tell you.
Lisa said something's coming, like surprise.
Yeah.
Shorty.
There's a surprise coming in December, but we can't say anything else.
Okay, well.
Anyway.
I said, here's my credit card.
Amanda, what is your book of the week?
Okay, my book of the week, and it's not going to be the one you think it is. It's actually Mary Lies by Amanda Richardson, because I thought it was going to be Pray Tell going in. And while I love that book and everyone should read that book, Mary Lies, oh my God, that book.
Jenny and I did a quick shot on that book. You should go listen to that because
it's so good. It's Marriage of Convenience. God, he is so grumpy and it's opposites attract, and he is such a fool for her. And I mean the voyeurism, which I was not ready for. Oh my God.
Oh, the voyeurism is like next level kink, and there are vibrators and dildos involved and mutual masturbation, spicy.
This book, I mean, if you have not read Pray Tell or Mary Lies by Amanda Richardson, do yourself a favor. My God.
Well, and Mary Lies has some amazing mental health rep.
It really does. Yeah, I mean, this book just all around, I mean, I can go on about the spice, but it's balanced so well with deep emotion, and there's so much character depth.
And Lucifer the goat is a highlight.
Oh my God, the pygmy goat. He is so read the book. I mean, just legit read these books.
Yeah. Heather, what's your book of the week?
Well, it is Bane, and I am going slow because I want to enjoy it. So I have audio and I'm reading it. And Connor Grace is Bane. So I'm not sad about that.
Could not, I understand the need to want to savor. I could not put it down. I had zero control.
I don't want to put it down. He is so hot. There is a scene in a hallway and I was dying. I'm like, it is one of the best scenes Sawyer has written, I think.
So much banging. So much
banging.
But
which you would expect with Friends with Benefits.
Yeah.
That's why I'm telling you. That's why he's mine, because
it's cool. No, I get it. Okay, you can find our book of the week listed in our On the Shelf show notes. Quick Patreon update. Welcome to new Patreon members Christy, Marcy, Phoebe, and Marisol. We are so excited to have you as a part of the Buzzing About Romance community. And we look forward to having you joining us for book chats and Buzzing About Romance Buzzing Book Club. Celebrating 1 year as in the Hive is Merritt. Merritt, we're so glad you found us and that you read all the chaotic books for us. And Danica, one of our founding members, has been in the Hive for 3 years this month. So, Danica, thank you for continuing your support of the podcast. And Danica was one of the first people I asked, like, do you think I could do a podcast? Do you think like people would listen? She's like, yeah, you should totally do it. And has been my cheerleader. And which, if you know Danica, she's a little bit of a curmudgeon. So for her to be a cheerleader, it gives you huge confidence boost. So I will always be grateful to Danica for believing in me. Swag packs will be hitting mailboxes around the 10th of this month. I am so excited to share our swag pack sponsors for November. They are Cambria Herbert, Aaron Nicholas, and Penny Reed. You can find ways to follow and connect with all of those authors on our On the Shelf show notes. Thank you to them for providing us with the swag in our swag packs. You can, and in the coming weeks and coming episodes, we'll let you know which of their books are our favorite and some of their newer releases they have coming out. All members of Patreon get exclusive episodes such as Should You Read It and Buzzing After Darks. They also get membership to Buzzing Book Club, which is always a hoot and a good time. And then we have book chats that we've brought back, which apparently we did Friday night and looked at Wander's website and model photography for sale.
No, I missed that part.
We did.
Amanda, for like a good solid 45 minutes, we trolled his website and his models.
Oh my goodness, I missed that part. I had to go before that happened.
Yeah.
It was time well spent, is all I'm telling you.
It was.
He's very talented.
He is very talented, and he has some very good-looking gentlemen and women that post for him.
Yeah.
So talented. And the obvious models are very talented.
Yeah. Swag packs go out to Fancy Drinks, Cold Brew, and Queen Bee Tier. We still have fun Buzzing About Romance exclusive stickers along with what authors are providing us. You can also find mood reader cards and other fun things. Again, these are mailed monthly around the 10th of the month, and we do ship these internationally. This perk is mailed only once monthly. If you join after the 10th of the month, your first swag pack will be mailed to you the following month. You can find a list of all of our events at bookcaseandcoffee.com/events, including happy hours, IG Lives, and book club. And I mentioned earlier in the episode, we are in the midst of Clear the TBR Challenge. This is an incentive where you will receive rewards for clearing books off your TBR. You can find rules and ways to enter on our website. We also are hosting weekly group reads to help you clear some titles off your TBR.
Yay!
And how many of the group reads were actually on your TBR?
I had a couple that were on there. Some I had already read, but yeah, there were a few on there.
I was accused earlier of just adding to everybody's TBR with this challenge, but
I mean, really, that's what we do here.
That's the whole job.
Yeah.
Right? Our whole job is to destroy your TBR.
Yeah. You're never going to get to the bottom of it. So
never.
Why even bother?
Just read the good books. Read the books Becky tells you to read because your life will be better.
Yes, it will. I can tell you that it was this weekend. Yes.
It's so funny every time Jenny says that, and Lindsay just said that to me earlier. She's like, I'm just going to start reading the books you tell me to read because I have no patience for the chaos. And I'm like, well, I picked these 2 books, so not sure I can always win it.
I'm such a mood reader. Like I download things on my Kindle and then it's like roulette of like, oh, this one's going to go. You'd think 20 is enough, but apparently not in my world.
I only have 9 of my Kindle Unlimited borrows. But I got rid of my want to read shelf
Oh, yeah.
on Goodreads. I got rid of everything. I sent every book back. Anyway, you can find out about that on the previous episode about reader burnout. Anyway, Heather and Amanda, thank you so much for hanging out and talking about anticipated reads and one-click authors with me, and also the chaos.
Thanks for having us.
The chaos of the book world.
Thank you.
Until next time, everyone, happy reading.
Find us on Instagram at Buzzing About Romance or on Twitter at Buzzing Romance. If you like the podcast, please leave a review. If you'd like to support us directly, join the Bookcase and Coffee Patreon and receive exclusive content only available to Patreon members. Check out bookcaseandcoffee.com for our on-the-shelf show notes.